At most, some people like seeing the Shaker as kind of lane securing. You can fissure block the first few waves, especially against a hero like a Darkseer who's so dominant in their offlane, then you want to take advantage in your offlane.
You're thinking about your offlaners. You're thinking about Batriders, Venomancers, Necrophoses, you know, like these heroes that actually are a little bit weak in the laning stage on the offlane, but if you have someone like a Shaker to just block the wave, then block the heroes that are aggressing on top of him, Shaker can come in handy. Plus later on, obviously, if he finds Blink. The problem that Shaker always has had is the fact that he's extremely greedy. You need some space for this guy. You need to... He likes to slow the game down, but he also likes that one free lane in which he finally farms his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I think at most, sometimes I'll be able to justify the Shaker by... If there isn't a one position pick, then I'll be like, oh, maybe a Morphling might come along later. But instead they choose to pair it with the Lifestealer, which I'm still not 100% sure if it's FlyToMoon's draft or if it's Liquid's draft that has...
It opens up the Morphling for the other side.
That's
as well,
true,
right?
yeah.
Because it's really good for... if Liquid are the Darkseer Tiny combos, Morphling would look solid for them as well, as it's really good versus Lifestealer. It hasn't been banned out. And what else is there? Like, you're thinking Morphling, you're thinking TB and Troll, probably. Oh, hey.
Interesting.
Hey.
Okay. What are the chances that this is a mid AA?
I wouldn't bet on them. Like,
Okay, so we're thinking more 5
that.
position?
Yeah, I'm thinking 5. I'm thinking Insania, playing the Ancient Apparition. I have heard that some players really value this hero as a position 5 right now, that it's a strong position 5 laner and that he comes in handy later on in the game. With his ultimate, obviously, you have Tiny, you have Darkseer Vacuum. With the A ulti, it can be very fearsome. The problem is, this hero usually always struggled against creeps, right? These heroes that bring summons or creeps, Enchantress, Chen, Beastmaster, they're the first ones that come to your mind.
Well, this draft interview may have just turned into a draft panel. Jenkins, how nice of you to wander into the temple of drafts.
They're gonna pick Visage.
Okay, I like it. You're coming in hot. We're still on the bans right now, but, you know.
Are they banning Visage or picking it?
They're picking Visage.
Team Liquid is picking Visage.
FlyToMoon
FlyToMoon is picking Visage.
is picking Visage.
It's a hot take, but I like it.
Just watch.
I'll try to get your justification instead. We've been trying to hem and haw over why would you ever first phase an Earthshaker Lifestealer. Jenkins, perhaps you could illuminate me a little bit more because we were both stumped.
I probably should have looked at the draft before predicting the Visage. In retrospect, that was a mistake.
Yes, this is the folly of man.
Why would you first phase Lifestealer Earthshaker? Well,
that is the philosophical question.
It really is. I feel like Earthshaker is just always a hero that makes his way back into the meta.
Okay.
He's a stunner. He's a team fighter. He can solo win games by just hitting a big Echo Slam. You know, you always know how the lane is going to go with Earthshaker. You always fissure the wave. You can throw anybody with him. They're going to have a good creep equilibrium. It just seems like maybe they just want to kind of change up the meta. You know, just so that way.
Okay, I can see your Shaker thoughts. What about Lifestealer follow-up?
Okay, Lifestealer is because FlyToMoon is the best Lifestealer team in the tournament. Period. That's why these guys are insanely good at Lifestealer.
My boy V-Tune.
Because of V-Tune?
Yeah, they played it in one of their previous series, and then it was so good. Enemy team picked it. They picked Morphling. They countered it. They showed they know how to counter it. Like they know this hero in and out. They all play around the Infest like perfectly. Like the whole team knows to get the Lifestealer in and out of fights. They always have, you know, multiple people going for the Infest bombs. Like
how many of those heroes do you see in this particular draft though?
Oh, well, Earthshaker, Beastmaster.
If they get blinks.
If they get blinks.
Yeah. Beastmaster probably will not, right? It's not really an item that you go for. And Shaker takes a lot of time. That's why we're still questioning this Lifestealer.
All right, fine. Then how about in a carry-to-carry matchup? How do you like Lifestealer versus a Sven? Because Liquid had all the time in the world to pick some other matchup. We were considering Morphling to be one of the potentials.
Sven right now is a much better choice, I think.
Especially versus the Lifestealer or just in general?
In general, and also versus the Lifestealer. You out-farm him, you get your items on time. The only problem here might be a little bit of kiting that FlyToMoon have got. You have the boars, you have the ice bat, you have the fissure block, but that all gets solved if he gets an Aghanims, which he most likely will. That's something that we see very often, truth be told, against Arc Wardens and Drows, but you can pick and choose it this time around as well.
Is there any chance that they would want to mix up the lanes a little bit? Because it's going to be a Beastmaster having to go against a Stormhammer and a Cold Feet combination. Sure, AA does not deal very well with multiple units, but...
Zeus.
Wow, look at that.
Zeus.
I had that in my notes.
Oh, really?
Iceberg has been spamming this hero in pubs.
What about Visage, huh? What about the Visage
Well,
Jenkins?
they actually did do this. They did general offlane Visage with... It was really interesting. They did Drums Orchid into Bloodthorn. It was super good. Did you know Soul Assumption does 245 damage at level 1?
With full charges.
With full charges.
Yeah.
I mean,
Quite
that's insane. But anyway, this hero... I was thinking maybe Zeus, because it's good against the other heroes. It's not good against Storm. You just get zipped on, you feed. But I know that he's been spamming it in pubs. I know that he thinks it's overpowered. So, you know, he just wants to play a hero finally in a terrible matchup, though, for it.
Odds are favoring Liquid, despite them still hunting for their own win right now. But Lizard, do you think that it's okay to pick a mid laner who not necessarily wins the mid lane versus a Storm Spirit, but is more just geared towards the game in general?
Okay, look, like, I'm not a mid laner per se, but overall you want to pick a decent matchup, which they haven't done. But they did have the last pick, so maybe they know something more, maybe the matchup has changed a little bit. The problem is you still will have this Surge Sven plus Storm jumping on top of this Zeus at any given point in the game. Yeah, you have Fissure, yeah, you have Roar, but it's going to be extremely difficult for Iceberg to stay alive.
Yeah, that's a last pick. I don't know about that. I honestly was just seeing the Lifestealer, seeing FlyToMoon play. Like, they started off kind of emulating people when it comes to drafting and playing at the start of the tournament, and then they started just, screw it, we'll do our own thing. So I started to really like how they were playing, but I don't like the last pick Zeus. I feel like it's countered. I feel like they picked it into counters because Iceberg had his mind set on it.
They're trying to emulate OG a little bit as well with some of their drafts.
They were.
Yeah, it looks a little bit weird,
That's
you know,
good.
and you think, okay, this might work, but most of the time it doesn't. Like their Ursa mid lane with Wisp, Gyro safe lane, it looked horrible.
Right, they stopped doing that though. Like they basically, it looks like they were like, all right, that was bullshit. Like, let's do our own thing. So I do like the Lifestealer. Like, I don't want to go against their Lifestealer, but I think the Zeus is awful. I think that was not a good pick.
Nothing wrong with trying to emulate some winners. Let's see if Team Liquid can pick up a victory of their own as we jump into game number 1.
Neither one of these teams gets the guarantee in the playoffs anymore. No matter how well this group stage goes, if they hope to be able to get into playoffs, they're going to have to go through the play-in stage, where the 4th and 5th team of each group matches up against each other to determine who's going to end up in the lower bracket of playoffs. Lacoste, what are you thinking? I mean, Liquid has not been looking hot lately.
Now, I know you've been talking to Blitz, you know, so I want to hear what you think. Like, what's going on with the team? Give me some inside info.
I would say that for whatever reason, Liquid just doesn't seem to be themselves. And you could see that in their play. Like, every single tournament that they are prepared and they go into and they are really looking to win, they do pretty well, right? They've gotten plenty of like top 4s at pretty big groups. The only times they've really bombed out is events that they have gone into and said, we're not really trying that hard for this one. We aren't really going, we're not going to boot camp beforehand. But I know Omega League, they did boot camp. And
so this could be the issue, you know, maybe too much Dota got into their head. Just keep it simple. Don't boot camp. Don't prepare.
Yeah, I think there are just potential factors that could come into play, and you kind of never know what's going to be happening with the team. But either way, it doesn't really matter, right? Because Liquid has to show up now. They're 0-3. They started off like somewhat okay. Right? They took a game off of Secret, ended up going 1-2. Took a game off of Alliance, ended up going 1-2. But now you're 0-3 in total. You haven't won a series yet, and you have to get some wins in if you hope to be able to make it into playoffs. Otherwise, you're heading to the Divine Division playoffs.
Yeah, looking at the draft, it looks like this could be at least the game that they're gonna win, because I'm really also not liking the Zeus pick. You're playing into Tiny Storm Spirit, who is like your biggest counter. You have a Darkseer, and Sven. So there's going to be a lot of those heroes who just want to get on top of you and kill you. And there's no save. Like, yeah, you have a Beastmaster Roar, you have a Fisher, but you don't have that guy that's going to bail you out if you're in real trouble.
Excuse me, when I said Alliance earlier, I meant Viking GG. Is who they also went 1 and 2 against. But, yeah, do you agree with Jenkins then in the in his breakdown of that they just had their mindset too much on this Zeus and they pretty much ignored the counters that were already in play from Liquid?
Possibly. I know Iceberg is a pretty stubborn guy, you know, likes to play certain matchups even though they're not favoring him. Like, he's a hero specialist. His Tiny, his Shadow Fiend, Lina, Zeus, these are the heroes that he plays the most. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure they saw that Storm Spirit. It's not like he's going to have some ability that's going to stun Storm Spirit or have a save. But I want to see how they can play around it. And Zeus got nerfed once again in the previous patch.
Yeah, he did. They tried to address the build that's been happening with Zeus's lately, where they go some 4-0-2 builds and they max out on their mobility, get like a Yule Scepter or something. They just run around the map, casting Arc Lightning over and over and over again.
So for now, Team Liquid's just running a tri-lane on the top lane. They still didn't get the kill. Boxy trying to pull the creep wave next to the tower. Always Wanna Fly will keep harassing. And that's the first item, Boots of Speed on the Darkseer. Something we don't usually see, so he kind of adjusted his item build to be able to run away from Jakiro, take the creep wave without taking too much damage.
Yeah, what a difference this is. Just, I guess they're addressing the fact that, okay, we can't pressure Lifestealer, and we can't cut the creep wave like you used to. It's a little bit too hard to cut it just right next to the tier 1 tower because Jakiro just gets free harassment on you while still being underneath the tower aura. So instead, they just kind of like try and give him solo experience initially. Now they're going to move Taiga down, but as you said, they never got that kill. They never got that first blood they were looking for with the tri-lane.
This is something that I see teams trying to do. You know, just get a first blood, get some advantage, and then TP to the bottom lane. Also, I don't think they can pressure Lifestealer at all. He's just going to be, you know, that unkillable guy, has a rage to pop off. And Jakiro is not an easy target to go for. His starting strength is extremely good. Look at him, level 2. 800 HP. He has the most HP in the game right now. Yeah,
it's pretty absurd. Jakiro, that's why Jakiro is one of those beastly laning supports, one of the best that you can ask for. Roger here trying to interrupt the easy camp pull. He's going to be taking a lot of damage, and it looks like they are not going to try and chase after him.
Seems like everyone wants to have Boots of Speed in this game.
Yeah.
Earthshaker, even Sven has first item Boots of Speed, you know, wants to be able to kite, set up things. He's also playing against the Boar in the laning stage, so wants to have something extra. And they have a lot of kill potential. Just a cold feet into stun should be enough to actually get a kill.
Yeah, it seems like they all have different reasons for it, but all those reasons do kind of make sense. I never thought about a Sven picking up Boots so he could... I'm presuming he wants to be able to kill the level 1 Boar whenever it comes up, so he kind of needs that extra movement speed. It's an interesting idea.
Even though Darkseer got nerfed in the previous patch, he still feels like a great hero. What he does, all right.
Nice block in here. Mikke in some trouble. Fortunately was not completely body blocked by General and will survive, but he doesn't have much regen to work with. Fortunately, that's what Insania is there for.
Now that I'm looking at Sven, like at one point, Sven is just going to struggle. They have so much kiting potential. You have Boar, you have Beastmaster Roar that goes through Magic Immunity. We did not miss this first blood.
What happened there? Because it didn't look like anybody on the side of FlyToMoon was low. And he died pretty close to the tower, so that just seems a little odd. Look at this. Really? Boxy making the move over to try and secure the power rune. It is going to be top, though. Sadly for Koifa as he tries to run up there, but Iceberg, he's the one, gets the refill on the bottle.
Sometimes we even see both supports rotating. One on the top, one on the bottom rune, just to secure it if your mid laner is really relying on that mana regeneration from the bottle. Which both of these mid laners are right now.
I guess we'll watch this as... he walked into tower range.
Well, you know, sometimes you do stupid stuff early on so they don't happen later.
Okay. You get rid of the stupid moments? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. That's a strategy I gotta try out my pubs now. Okay, now we're approaching the 5-minute mark, so Boxy, he can start going for the pulling, but you could see V-Tune. He's reading exactly what the Darkseer wants to be able to do and trying to play against it as much as possible. Roger trying to get a block in on Insania here. And Insania might be bailed out by Mickey. In fact, he will. The Stormhammer was enough of a stun. He was able to get away from that boar. But just everywhere we look, it's just kind of good things for FlyToMoon as the Iceberg ultimate goes off, and it does finish off Insania.
Everywhere we look, we're not seeing kills. So far, we missed two, but, you know, the mistakes were made.
Ultimate,
it's hard. Yeah, so Zeus got level 6 before the Storm Spirit got that kill on a support. Is going to be almost level 7 right now. Stacking null talismans on Zeus is extremely efficient. Getting that mana regen and the spell amp is insanely good.
Yeah, I could definitely see a world where FlyToMoon, with this kind of momentum they're getting off of the laning phase, it's not a massive lead, but it's a lead nonetheless, and it's going to be a really big lead if Iceberg can actually finish off quite a bit here. He just got 6. But he just barely got 6. The creep died, and he was able to get on out of there.
And Earthshaker refilled the bottle for Zeus. Sadly, they did not get the Invis rune on top, so now Zeus needs to be more careful about the rotation coming out from that Tiny.
Insania, you are very dead. He got a kill on the courier. Not sure if you're going to say that's really worth it. Taiga's going to come over. They actually may fight this. The Storm Spirit thought about maybe rotating, and he was like, no, we're not going to do that.
They just
now they're going to go for it. As the supports separate away from Iceberg, they get the combo on him. So in the end, they do trade a support for a core there. Boxy thought about going for it. He did some nice body blocks, but...
So the Fairy Fire instantly backs off.
Oh, he'd already blown his Surge, so that's why V-Tune really wants to try and catch him right here. But the Surge is going to be up in 1 second time, so Boxy should be able to run away. And is he going to TP out? He does. He's good. Taiga, meanwhile, gets caught by General. Looks like the... didn't even need the ultimate. Looks like he just got chased down by boars.
This is the second time that Darkseer managed to TP out, but he's losing a lot of XP. Like, look at his net worth right now.
Yeah.
700 below. Beastmaster, Zeus has another ulti ready. That's a lot of stats. This is a good item. I mean, you would want to have something like a Keen Optic plus Jelly on your Zeus. Storm Spirit making a move.
Definitely could have got that kill. Looks like he's going to with the help of Taiga. Koifa still has half his mana pool, so... not in any danger, that's for sure. It's going to be hard for this Earthshaker to get farm in the mid lane if a Storm Spirit's going to be there all the time. So they may have to open up another lane if they want to get that fast Blink Dagger.
Zeus maxing out his Q just to be able to spam out the lanes, push them out, and not feel threatened by rotation. But they'll still have very good heroes against the Zeus, don't get me wrong.
Okay, Taiga's making some pretty good rotations here. If they can bring down General, which they should, the toss up in the air, pops the Fairy Fire, and pops the wand. Neither is enough to keep him alive, though.
That's a full Mask of Madness, and he is extremely farmed right now. And I know Team Liquid really loves to stack the jungle. I just want to see how many stacks they have right now.
Oh, he's on a fly, getting found deep in the enemy jungle. I'm not sure if he was hoping to get a ward down, but he was spotted by that ward on the high ground. You could see him already pinging it out. So Iceberg may at some point in time try and deward that for the boys. Oh yeah, look at that stat. What was that, 8 stacks? None on the side of FlyToMoon.
Yeah, Team Liquid, they really love to stack some camps, and they have good heroes to clear it. Either Storm Spirit, Tiny, I mean everyone pretty much except AA has a good way of clearing the stacks.
The way they've been buffing the gold that you get as a support for stacking is, I feel like there's a lot of incentive to do so nowadays. And I'm a bit surprised whenever I see a team not really do it at all. Insania being given the solo experience here in the top lane, but it's not going to last for long as Roger does a cute little cut through the trees and the Fissure block. While the Fissure may miss, they certainly have the kill nice and easy.
It's one of those, you know, when you're playing Enigma, the threat of a black hole is actually stronger than the black hole itself. It goes with the Fissure here.
Beware my Fissure. Okay, the last few seconds of God Strength here from Mickey as he shows up to lane. They're going to try and trade off towers here, but V-Tune is so hard to pressure and get out of this lane that it's looking like FlyToMoon is just going to be able to get a free tower top with little to no punishment. Maybe a kill on Always Wanna Fly. The Fissure looking to be able to stall him out. The Avalanche, though, catches Always Wanna Fly, and he will get popped. Back over to the double damage rune. Taiga's going to try and protect that, so the Storm Spirit has the refill. Body blocking, and Koipa does manage to grab it. Refill up, the double damage gets him the kill onto Roger as well. Nice teamwork there from Taiga, helping Koipa out.
Storm Spirit and Tiny can make a move at any point of the game, and I like the build on Koipa, just getting that Orchid, not going for Power Threads, one Null Talisman, Magic Wand, so that means that he wants to pressure the Lifestealer. One of the reasons why Lifestealer already has Manta queued up. Like, you need to have some kind of Dispel.
Yeah.
This is going to be like 13-minute Orchid, and there's no real save besides like using a Fissure or a Beastmaster Roar.
So you don't think the status resistance of S and Y would be enough? You think you have to have that Dispel against this item?
I'm not a big fan of Mantis style, but maybe if you just get... I mean, he has Armlet, getting something like a Heaven's Halberd could tank you enough and get some status resistance to be able to actually survive, and it's one of the best items still, even after the nerfs. Great against Sven.
Yeah. Everyone from Liquid's going to show up here. After the kill on Taiga, they want to make sure they still keep their tower alive. The Fissure block is there. No Ice Path to really follow it up. The Siege Wagon is still alive, and it is doing some good damage onto this tower, especially with the Beastmaster Aura and V-Tune putting in a little bit of work as well. They're going to force out the Rage. Taiga's going to come in. Iceberg, he drifted a little bit too far and immediately gets caught by Koipa. Taiga comes in and gets the kill on Always Wanna Fly as well. He's looking for another one, but the Surge ran out eventually here. 2 kills in exchange for their tower going down. Now let's see how this counter-aggression works for Liquid as they try and do the same, or maybe not. Again, V-Tune is just too much of a threat, Lacoste. Quick
in and out by Koipa, which I really like. He set things up with only 1 point in Vortex, enough for AA to land the ulti, and I don't think Zeus should have been there. Like, he was actually hitting the tower.
Yeah.
You have a Beastmaster, you have a Lifestealer, but Lifestealer already used the Rage, try to dodge the Stormhammer, which he did, but, you know, it's going to be on cooldown, and this is where Team Liquid wants to take a play. I just want to see how much gold does Tiny have right now. I want to see his Blink Dagger timing. Okay, so it's still going to be like around 15-minute Blink Dagger, which is insanely good. Then they can play globally with the Storm Spirit and AA.
That'll be a big pickup, and they can start hunting down Iceberg like they're doing now. Koipa gets the assist from Insania. Just that extra bit of damage that you so often need as a Storm Spirit when you go for one of these kills.
That's one of the reasons why no one on the panel, and we talked about it, did not like the Zeus pickup, because you're playing into Storm Spirit. He's still toe-to-toe in terms of net worth, but there's a huge difference, like when it comes to a mid-game.
Taiga.
Also, Taiga can achieve so much. Okay, hype it up.
Yeah, there's so many heroes around here.
Hype gone. I still did not see Beastmaster using a Roar.
So we saw him use it at mid on Taiga, and
that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Helm of the Dominator build. I would love him to pick up something else than a Tomato Bear. Okay, he just got this. So they have something, a root mechanic against the Storm Spirit, against the Surge, which is pretty great to set things up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they're very limited in terms of how they can deal with Storm Spirit.
These teams splitting the sides of the map. Liquid just playing in the Radiant jungle, and vice versa for FlyToMoon. Both the carries are pretty much neck and neck, as are the mids when it comes to net worth. The biggest difference right now is the Blink Dagger progression for Taiga compared to our Earthshaker. I think that's kind of expected, though. Tiny is just naturally going to be able to have a lot more opportunities, easier kills, better farming mechanisms. Here goes that second Primal Roar, and it's not going to get the kill onto Boxy, even though that ensnare was nicely used. There's the reveal of the Orchid from Koipa. With the double damage rune, Taiga immediately going to TP out of this top lane.
This is the pickup that they needed on Team Liquid. They just got Orchid, and instead of killing Zeus once again, they kill a hero that they feel threatened from if he gets his Blink Dagger. The instant initiation against the Storm Spirit, so he's more than 1,000 gold away from that Blink on Earthshaker right now.
Yep, and there's the Blink from our Tiny. So this is going to be a world of difference of impact from our 4 positions in this next fight. And you can see Taiga's already pulling in a smoke.
The
They
difference
wanna keep
is
this going.
Darkseer enables Tiny to actually do stuff like he would have a Blink Dagger, but just surging him in.
Yeah.
Stupendous.
They know.
Yeah, they see there's this Hawk. So they're going to smoke right underneath it. Now, how does FlyToMoon respond to this? Are they going to completely retreat? Or are they going to play on a high ground here? They're a little bit separated, so retreating is the best option for now. Always want to fly, turning around, and embracing the smoke to make sure that his Beastmaster, his core, does get out.
He broke the smoke, died. I think that was his plan. You know, he
Yeah.
does not want any other cores to die instead of him, so he just breaks it, takes one for the team. What a bro, huh?
What a bro. Always want to fly. One of the oldest members of the CIS scene, still in professional play. And has seemingly brought a number of teams into that kind of like cusp of being truly tier 1. Koipa gets the initiation, follow up by Taiga. A quick kill on Always Want to Fly, but it's just a 5 position. It's just a 5 position, but
Once
Liquid
again.
do get out.
Yeah, they killed him twice in less than 30 seconds spawn time. Also, I think this is a huge debate going for that Manta style. I mean, alright, this is another big kill.
Gives him the walk away. Cool guys don't look at explosions, Lacoste.
Yeah, he did the math, you know.
Uh-huh. And geez, Liquid just back and forth, back and forth. Now Taiga initiates on a general with no plan to do anything past that, I guess.
Still very even game in terms of net worth, even though the score is 7-14 at the moment. Just 1K difference.
Is there an advantage that you would give to a team with an even net worth at this point? I feel like it's got to be Liquid just because they have so many answers to Zeus.
Yeah, they do. And Lifestealer going for that Manta style, we go back to that talk. Like, yes, you're going to be able to... I'm not sure about that item. I've seen... Who was it? I think it was Liquid who bought Manta style on Weaver in one of those games. It's one of the biggest mistakes you can make, at least in my opinion. I did it multiple times.
Yeah.
I said never again, and whenever I see it, I'm just going to flame it.
Yeah, at least with Weaver, you could be like, well, I'm an agility hero. Lifestealer. I mean, it's not the rarest pickup in the world. Times in the past, we've seen Manta whenever Orchid has just been really prevalent and a big problem for him, just to have that kind of dispel, but it never feels good.
Yeah, but maybe Manta dodge, you know? You impress someone, a higher tier team is going to pick you up, like you Manta dodge 10 times. Like, this is it. This is the guy that we want to have in a team.
So you think VTune, in a way, is trying to submit his resume to Virtus.pro with
Possibly,
this game? Okay.
yeah. Philly, drop for Team Liquid. This is the item that you want to give to your AA. Or sometimes I've even seen Darkseer getting that item, you know, because he does not rely on dealing any physical damage.
Smoke breaks. They use the Zeus ultimate to get vision, very similar to the way you would use Spectre off of a smoke breaks, but only catching the 5 position. Both teams seemingly having those very sacrificial 5s. But they're not going to stop.
Tier 2 items starting to drop. I saw Ensnare being picked up by FlyToMoon or a Clumsy Net. This is a great item. I think this item, sometimes you want to keep it, even when tier 3, tier 4 items, especially against certain heroes.
Yeah. It's being able to have an additional disable. It's very unique from a neutral item. There's that and then the silence one, right? Prince's Knife and then the silence one. So there's 3 of them, I guess, in total. Is that it? We'll ignore tier 5, so those don't count.
What if we have a neutral item that stuns people?
Yeah, just straight up gives you a stun.
I hope Ice Frog's
Okay,
not listening.
it stuns somebody, but it takes away from your stats.
Yeah, it steals your stats. Like,
Yeah.
you lose 2 intelligence. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a good item concept, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds pretty shit. Good thing we're not in charge, Holocaust.
Well, yeah, back to the game.
Go on. I can feel the shade coming, Lacoste. I could feel it. Don't worry, Ice Frog's not listening. I promise.
Yeah, back to the game. You know, Bounty Rune's about to spawn. 20-minute mark. Let's see who takes it. So far, 2 for Team Liquid. It's going to be 3. They're the ones controlling the map, even though they are playing against the Beastmaster. But I don't think FlyToMoon is getting too much out of this Beastmaster. Preemptive TP from Insania. You know, sees a Lifestealer, instantly clicks it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, is there a timing that FlyToMoon is going to feel good about? Okay, they're just going to smoke it. They've got the Blink Dagger on Roger. This is what they're waiting for. They can get the initiation onto the Storm Seer. It'd be really big, and they're going to let it rip. Quick kill, an unstoppable streak claimed. Oh, but they're actually going to get the counter kill onto Roger. He just walks away. The Ice Blast, I don't think is going to kill him here. But the tree, probably still not enough.
Still not enough. Like, let me just get the piece of paper and a pen, and it's minus 13, plus 6. Yeah, it's not enough.
Good call, Lacoste. Quick mass there is Taiga.
Oh, General. It's one of those, you know, where you think, I do not want to use it, I do not want to waste it, but in the end, he just TPs out.
Should have done it. Should have done it. Okay, well, Liquid, now they know they have to be careful, but at the same time, we have an Aghanim Scepter up on Mickey. So all of that kiting that you were talking about before, its impact is going to be significantly lessened by the fact that we have this big mobility item now.
Yeah, he understands that he needs something to be able to just deal with this kiting. Even though he has a Surge, it's still not enough. Boars, Beastmaster, Open Wounds. I also see him going for a BKB, so the only thing he needs to care about is going to be Beastmaster ulti.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We really did not see too much out of Zeus.
No, we haven't.
I feel like I've said that thing for 3 out of 5 heroes on FlyToMoon in the past 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. Do not be wrong. In Liquid, I mean, they say, okay, Echo Slam was used. We know about the Blink Dagger. They are not that scared of taking team fights, and a nice combo that almost caught V-Tune. Boy, that was super scary. The Avalanche toss into the Stormhammer could have just 100-0'd him, but he managed to get off the rage just before the Stormhammer landed. And now, trying to catch somebody here, Mickey. Okay, toss combo there, pull him into the tier 2, so V-Tune takes a little bit of extra damage.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And just like that, not really looking in the greatest shape here. General, meanwhile, that Beastmaster that we've been talking about, just haven't seen a ton from him. He does have a lot of items, at least. Helmet Dominator, Blink Dagger, and Medallion, soon to be Solar Crest.
No Necrobook. However, I think he just feels that Necro Warriors are going to die to 2 Sven hits, and he's not going to get too much use out of that, so he's just going for the Medallion / Solar Crest, which gives them even more chance to, you know, kite around Sven, buff his teammates up, and also opens up the Roche.
And they do really need that minus armor to help out the Lifestealer, right? Because we've got this big boost of armor from the Sven.
Yeah, right now, Lifestealer really does not deal much damage with this item build.
Yeah. This is... How much is Warcry? It's something like 10 armor or something like that.
I believe it is. Yeah.
It gives a lot.
Someone was playing position for Sven. It's the CIS classic in the old days that the hero was used to counter like certain strats, like a Drow Ranger, Vengeful Spirit.
It's to be a good initiation, but a counter blink from General. Great heads up, quick play from him that gets away from the initiation of Taiga.
There's still a tier 1 tower on the top lane. Liquid does not have the best like Roche taking lineup unless they use Sven's ulti. And there's always a threat of a Hawk, so Liquid wants to take a fight first and then go into Roche Pit.
15 armor.
15, okay.
15. 6, 9, 12, 15. I was going to say, like, I think it might be more than 10, but it just sounded so absurd, giving a plate mail to everybody, you know?
Plate
That's
mail
just
and a
crazy.
half. That's what it is.
Yeah, for 8 seconds. I mean, most team fights are determined in the first, like, 5. Echo Slam initiation once again catching Koifa here. Another good kill for FlyToMoon with their Echo Slam, but they need to be able to catch some more heroes, bigger ones, like this stun onto Mickey, which may get him caught here. It's going to be a little hard to get out, but he turns around on strength and just 4-shots him. The toss up in the air onto V2. They're going to throw out some stuns onto Mickey, but you can see Mickey is just putting in the hurt right now into Roger and doesn't give a damn about FlyToMoon. The Rage the Manta dodge resume denied Lacoste. Virtus.pro says, come back in a year, son. Maybe when you've got some more experience under your belt.
Oh, that was a tough one. I mean, Zeus, once again, being out of position. This is going to be a full team wipe. I don't think Always Wanna Fly is getting out of this one. I mean,
Nope.
Tiny is booking his ticket on Tiny Airlines, and here he comes.
I mean, that was clean. The fact that Taiga went from top to mid that quickly to get the additional kill.
And suddenly, 7k gold lead for Team Liquid. Lifestealer cannot fight into Sven at the moment. He does not have the items. He has a Basher, no Heaven's Halberd. This Manta style really does not do that much. Like, yeah, you're going to get rid of the silence, but if you wanted to go for that, maybe just a BKB as your third item instead would have been a better choice. Also not the item that you want to buy. Like, if they have a lot of spell damage, BKB is okay, but as a like 4th, 5th item, you need to play around the team. You can't just itemize, oh, they have spell damage, I'm buying BKB, then 30 minutes in, it's going to be 5 seconds and you're not getting much out of that.
Sometimes I get stuck on this Lacoste, so I apologize. I feel like I've said it a number of times, but Tiny's just an insane hero, man.
Yeah,
the fact that he's such a threat with the Blink Dagger, but the bonus is, unlike Earthshaker, like the next 2 items that you get on Tiny, like all of a sudden this guy becomes a big late game threat as well. Now he's got the Shadow Blade on top of the Blink Dagger, so he's even got a bit more physical damage, better opportunities to initiate as well.
Yeah, he can actually solo kill either Zeus or Jakiro with this kind of a build. And he wants to find that Zeus. Like, they want to take him out. He has full Aghanim Scepter. Look at him, just standing, protecting the Zeus at the moment.
Yeah, scan from Team Liquid was there. Plus, they've got this ward on the right-hand side, which I always want to fly. Does know about.
It's going to be hard for Team Liquid to maintain vision. You're playing against the Zeus. You're playing into Beastmaster Hawk, but no Necro Warrior, so that's good for them.
Yeah.
Kyle is coming back. He is one of the panelists, I believe. He thinks this game is over.
Yeah, it's just kind of like he's got a smirk on his face. He just kind of shrugs. Apparently, he doesn't think there's a chance in hell that FlyToMoon is able to win this one, make the comeback against N8K, and I don't think he's too wrong. Don't you ever show me that again, Kyle.
Kyle is just being rude.
Not
at the
on
moment.
a work day, anyway, Kyle. That's for weekend. 11-20, 8,000 net worth lead. As we said, it's 28 minutes, and FlyToMoon's lineup. Would I be wrong in saying it's going to run out of steam at some point? Like, it's always going to, like, they always can win fights because they've got Earthshaker and Zeus can do a lot of damage,
yeah.
But
I think now it's a good time for them to take a fight.
Yeah.
They just picked up Arcane Rune on Zeus. They also picked up Quickening Charm on him, so that's going to be a lot of cooldown reduction.
Yeah, I want to see them play with a little bit of urgency here. I want to take some fights.
Sven still does not have a BKB, so if they get a good initiation on him, they can really burst him from 100 to 0 easily.
Yeah. And they do have the Echo Slam up. Oh, Leontis, that's a nice pickup for the Zeus. Okay. This smoke from Liquid, though. You could see Liquid feels really
They have
good.
no vision.
They don't have vision, but they will go blindly into this high ground area. As soon as it pops, Taiga jumps forward, does find Roger, but he misses. Roger actually blinks in return, but Roger's stuck in a corner, and he's going to be caught by Mickey. They stop the initiation from FlyToMoon, but Mickey is in all by himself. He's roared up underneath the Macropyre. He's taking so much damage. He gets off the Stormhammer, but there's the Aeontis from Iceberg protecting him. And what a folly from Liquid. Why would you just force it like that, Lacoste?
They had no vision. They were climbing uphill. Look at this. And snare from the high ground. I think what they wanted to do is just scout things out with the Shadow Blade on Tiny, but it ran out. So they... And also good positioning from FlyToMoon. Now they're going to take the Aegis. They had to buy back on the Earthshaker. So he still has ulti.
Trying to catch the Earthshaker here and see if he can burst him down. And he does manage to do so with enough mana to get out. Won't stop FlyToMoon in their current objective, though, in taking Roche.
I don't think Koiko wants to go in. He just got a really big kill, which means that Earthshaker's gone for the 60 seconds. So they're going to give that Aegis to a Lifestealer. Bounty Rune spawning. Seems like it's just going to be 2-for-2 trade.
It just felt like, to me, like Liquid, I felt like the game was going well for them, you know? No need to, like, press your luck.
And they got 2 really big items before that fight on FlyToMoon, especially that, I mean, 1 item from the neutrals, Blessing from the Gaben, and also a rune, Arcane Rune on Zeus. Like, this is the rune that can change the things of the game. Same goes for some double damage inside the Roche pit.
Shout out to Roger, though, for that really fast blink. Even though he didn't end up in a very good spot, it did force Mickey to use Stormhammer on him, which then delayed the rest of the follow-up. It allowed FlyToMoon to really get set up for the team fight, so...
Problem with the Sven right now is that he dispels everything. He's gonna dispel that Eon Disc, he can dispel a Glimmer Cape. It's very hard for them to itemize. The only thing you can do is just to blink dodge it. Like, you cannot Ghost Scepter, you cannot build Yule Scepter.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Blink Daggers picked up yesterday, specifically to try and counter the Sven Aghanim Scepter. That's what Evil Genius's game plan was, and it seemed to work really well.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So an 8,000 net worth lead now down to 5 with FlyToMoon holding an advantage in the Aegis. We'll see if it actually wins them this next fight, though. How do they want to assert their map control? What towers are they going to be hitting?
Even though Liquid is 5k gold ahead, I feel FlyToMoon is in control of the game right now, not just because they're holding Aegis. Even though if they did not have it, I would still go for FlyToMoon at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, they're the one controlling the vision. You saw the issue when Liquid tried to make a move in the previous fight. They had not a single observer ward across the river.
Oh, that is a massive issue. They can't get that initiation out.
Oh, is he going a second Eon Disc? Am I missing something?
Huh.
They don't stack.
Yeah.
There's no way they stack. I mean,
Okay.
they don't. They share the cooldown. Well, maybe I'm proven wrong.
That would be so weird. How do you deal with the Dispel from Stormhammer? You get a second Aeon Disc.
What if you just buy a second Eon Disc, put it in the backpack, and
then swap it in after? Yeah, it's triggered. I have
and you can do it instantly if you like disassemble the components and just unlock them during a fight.
Yeah, that is such an obscure mechanic that your guess is as good as mine. Is they're going to be able to get the Nimbus plus Roar initiation that picks up Boxy, and Roger follows that up to be able to get the stun onto Mickey. Now the Orchid goes out to prevent any follow-up stuns, but Mickey is still taking a lot of damage. Taiga tosses Mickey back into the base to try and bail him out here, and bail him out it does. Gets him out, allows them to be able to reset. FlyToMoon will also reset because they've seen the buyback from Boxy, so no need to try and pressure too much here.
Earthshaker needs to get a defensive item. It's very hard for him to just blink in and rely that he's going to live. He gets the good Echo Slam, he knows he's going to die afterwards.
Yeah. Well, FlyToMoon making good use of this Aegis. They're going to take all of the Tier 2 towers.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Working towards MKB off of the, after the Abyssal Blade that he picked up. So there's some real threats to this Storm Spirit. And now we see the sweep back and forth, FlyToMoon, just trying to control the map, keep Liquid locked inside their base, and wait for maybe some sort of misstep, some sort of potential pickoff, and failing that, I don't know, do you think they'll go high ground with this Aegis and try and make use of it?
They don't have enough time. They have 40 seconds left. Team Liquid might try to make a smoke play, cut into back lines. Like, he is doing the work right now, but I don't think they want to fully commit.
Yeah, it's not a real commit. He's literally just kind of poking, but smoke up. They've only got so much time left. At this point in time, Liquid, they should just be playing completely away from FlyToMoon and potentially getting ready to smoke themselves. But, oh, spotted Koifa with the Nimbus. Sadly, though, it was not mid-TP. They get the vision from the Thunder God's Wrath, though. He should have done that the other way, right?
Yeah, you scout him out with the ulti and then cancel it with the Nimbus.
Yeah, you gotta...
You know, he has an extra key to click.
Too much. There's one too many. Liquid. Yep. Aegis is down now. They're close to the BKB on Storm Spirit. The net worth advantage has completely canceled out. It is a dead even game, but with FlyToMoon controlling the map like you were talking about, and if that means if they do win a fight, it's very likely on Liquid's side of the map, and that means they can force more things out of Liquid. Buybacks, potentially tier 3s, barracks.
Last 10 minutes, Team Liquid has been just killing creeps on their side of the map. They did not make any aggressive moves, and right now, FlyToMoon, they have ways to deal with this Beastmaster. Sorry, Sven. With the Beastmaster, they have Abyssal Blade. Even though he's building status resistance, he still does not have a BKB. And I believe Beastmaster is going for a refresher. Same goes for Zeus. So that's going to be a lot of refreshed abilities.
That's a pretty cool idea. Mickey does have the status resistance to help deal with that. Initiation on Always Want to Fly. Gets away off the Glimmer Cape at the same time. VTune trying to get in the face of Mickey. Now, they didn't pop the God Strength here. The follow-up initiation from Koifa as he uses his BKB. He's got to be careful. The Primal Roar, though, pulls immediately onto the Beastmaster into the two-man Stormhammer stun. That's looking very pretty with the Avalanche over the top. The Macro Pyre Wall is keeping them at distance, but Liquid now sees them low enough that they can commit. VTune is low, and they're just going to man-fight him until VTune eventually runs out of steam as his lifesteal can only do so much. Liquid, finally, the first aggressive maneuver we've seen from them in about 8 minutes. And it is a massive victory, a full team wipe against FlyToMoon, and it cost them nothing, Lacoste.
They got a better initiation. It feels like in this game it comes down to that. Who's going to get the first jump to delete one hero? Jakiro did not got much out of that fight. And if you look at the green stuff on the top, Earthshaker did not use his ulti, neither Beastmaster, so you know things are not going well for them. And Storm Spirit, he picked up a region rune, so he's full. If someone shows, like this is the trickiest part, you're playing against the Storm Spirit, full mana, full HP, they might use the scan. If you just try to use a spell, you're gonna die.
I'd love to see what happened to the Earthshaker there, because I remember the initiation started on Jakiro, and then the pull was on the Beastmaster, and they got the two-man stun from the Stormhammer on Lifestealer Beastmaster. So what happened to Roger?
I did not see, I have to say. It was a pretty chaotic fight, and I'm also not the one who's controlling the camera. If I was at home, Cap, you could ask me any question, I would give you an answer what happened to every single hero.
Wow, Lacoste, you're so good.
So good at making excuses.
Hey, that's the most important characteristic.
Oh, Spell Prism.
For an analyst, anyway.
Yeah, that's a great item for like 3 members of their team. I still feel like for now, Sven could be the one just holding it. Lowering the cooldown on his Warcry, and most importantly, Stormhammer is insanely good.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you're playing off of the entire time, right? Havoc Hammer, well, you've got a big strength support hero that can make use of that. Some additional burst damage if he wants. Ninja Gear, never a bad item for your initiators either. Never a bad item because it's also an item that you could just double up on. You know? Use the active, throw it away.
You think that's going to be fixed? I mean, Illusion Escape got nerfed because of it.
I thought with the Illusion Escape changing that they would do the same to Ninja Gear. At least make you like, you can't drop it until your smoke breaks, you know, or something like that. Thunder God's Wrath revealing the positioning of Liquid, who's kind of grouped up, and I think they were waiting for BKB, and then they were going to smoke again, but I do wonder if that's still the game plan after being spotted like that. Certainly looks like it, yeah. I'm going to go for it. So even if FlyToMoon very likely knows there's an aggressive maneuver in the future here from Liquid, they're still going to go for it.
Illusion escape, bait. That's what the item is good for. They don't have that super carrier that's gonna, you know, have it in the inventory, but it's always easy to just try to bait and put them out of their comfort zone.
In turn, VTune, he also picks up a very important item in that MKB.
General just picked up a gem. From now on, we can call him Gemeral. He's the one with the illusion escape, you know, just wants to be that bait.
Stop it, Lucas, stop it. This is supposed to be a serious broadcast. You can't do that to me. 50 to 28. Looks like Lotus Orb next up for the Darkseer, while Lincoln's was picked up by Taiga. So they're really trying to address the Primal Roar threat for both Mickey and Koifa.
You know what you could do with the illusion escape? I don't remember seeing anyone do that. You know, he just used it 2 times on a Beastmaster. So the 4th time, let's say you give it to someone else, just be out of the position. They will not expect that.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Even better, you could put like a Lincoln's on it or something. Can you put Lincoln's on illusions?
That's a good question.
I don't know. That just makes the
put a
illusion all
solar
the more
crest.
convincing. Yeah.
For sure you can do that.
Yeah.
Glimmer cape. Use everything and then the team fight starts. They don't fall for a bait and you have no ability. Spell prison. All right, that's a good one for Zeus, huh?
Yeah. That's the big pick-me-up. Still missing a neutral item, but that's okay. 3 out of 4. FlyToMoon says it's good enough for us. It all comes down to this next team fight. Who's going to be taking this next Roshan? Will this smoke work for FlyToMoon? Approaching with Roger. Got the Echo Slam ready to go. If they get the right initiation, if they catch Koifa here, it would be massive. Just a little bit too far away, just a bit shy. Now he makes the jump, catches Koifa, quickly brings him down with a Nimbus. Koifa's gone. Initiation, counter follow-up as the Stormhammer going down on the General. They're going to make sure there's no Primal Roar. Actually, it looks like he already used it, but Koifa with the buyback and the long zip in. He immediately addresses Iceberg. He knows who he wants to go for, and there's the Dispel onto the Yule Scepter. It cost them a buyback, but if they can get this Roshan, they'll be forgiven for that.
There's no buyback on Zeus. He's 200 gold short. There's no buyback on Beastmaster. He spent all his gold buying that gem. So that means that Team Liquid is in full control of this game. Even though Koifa used the buyback, he's going to be the one picking up that Aegis. So 2 lives, pretty hard to take down. He might also consider getting something like an Eon Disc. What are you laughing about?
I want to see more teams do that. Roger tried to go in and steal some of the items, you know, with the courier. I want to see teams do that as 5, you know, 5 couriers going in with their burst.
That's a lot of gold if they die.
It's true, but I mean, if you take a refresher shard or an Aghanim Scepter, you know, like that's probably worth it.
It is.
Oh, toss forward into the rest of the team. They managed to get the
Manta
combo
dodge
with the Stormhammer. Where's the Manta dodge? Where's the Rage? Doesn't matter. VTune is going to be able to survive either way. Not feeling happy about it, though. Is this damn repair kit? It's certainly going to slow things down here. Looking for the initiation from Ice Blast.
Remember when Repair Kit gave multi-shot?
Yeah.
And you can use it 3 times in a row if needed.
Yeah.
Good old days. What was the most broken item that got removed? Like the Aghanim Scepter one? What was the duration of it? Like 5-6 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah, it was like 6 minutes, I think.
And the one from Underlords? That you cannot die?
Yeah.
Helm of the
Undying.
Yeah.
That one was very broken as well.
Can't wait for some items from Artifact to be implemented into Dota games. You know.
What happened to our Artifact heroes? Where's Prelix?
Where's Kana?
Where's Kana? Where's my creep heroes?
Where's Rix?
Imagine if Rix had that ability. He just didn't really have a death timer. He'd just be old
keep
Meepo.
dying all the time, and you keep killing him, and he's feeding the gold. But his stats is like 400 HP, 30 damage, 0 armor.
Yeah. That's what old Meepo was so good at. Remember when you couldn't push Meepo's base because you like you'd kill him on your side of the map, and by the time you got to
Big
his
zip.
side, he was already there. Good jump onto General. Very important kill.
Somehow he still managed to get that gem back, I guess with the courier, because Liquid did not see it, but he lost it once again. Arcane plus Region on Storm Spirit. Nice.
And somehow he was that far out and still did not manage to farm another buyback. So Liquid, it's annoying to push high ground. No doubt, but Taiga's going to try and break this by being able to jump in and quickly grab the Jakiro. Now, Mickey's going to be able to man fight against V2, no problem, but eventually his BKB is going to wear out, and that repair kit's going to come into play and heal that tier 3 up.
So Lincoln Sphere, Lotus Orb on your Sven, he goes in, still cannot kill the buildings. Glyph plus repair kit, keeping it alive, and a couple of buybacks.
What's our last item for this Sven? Because he can get the Aghanim Scepter and make it a passive and open up a slot, so... What do you figure, Daedalus?
Daedalus, just straight up damage, yeah.
Always on the fly. V2 actually going in, trying to go onto the Sven, a decent amount of damage from all of that magic. And Mickey, without his BKB, you could see he can definitely die in these fights. He's going to be fed the cheese here. Quickly gobbles it up, but it looks like maybe Liquid is going to try a fast play. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, because Koifa is still lacking in mana right now.
He's low, but with the bottle and has Bloodstone, should be able to regen up, can click it in the fight if needed. Has that magic lamp. Like I was talking about Eon Disc, but this is the item that gives you hard dispel, and you could be able to, you know, get the zip off even if they get a good initiation from the Earthshaker.
I believe that noise was the Aghanim Scepter finish for Sven, so V-Tune checking out here. They've got vision of him. Mickey immediately going to pop the God Strength, going for the jump, ends up on the high ground.
He's stuck.
Is that where he wants to be? Mickey, he needs another Stormhammer to be able to get down, and he sees the opportunity on Roger with a great pull-in from the vacuum. Koifa managing to survive thanks to that magic lamp. V-Tune was able to TP out, at least with the rage, but it looks like Liquid, they've got such mobility, all that extra catch now. Koifa's going to be caught with very little mana
Magic
here.
lamp.
Magic lamp going off, and he still has the Aegis as well, so he's actually going to be fine for now. They have a Fissure and a Lightning Bolt that they can place down immediately onto the Storm Spirit, but not enough follow-up there. V-Tune. Instead, now he's going to charge forward, starts poking at Mickey, but that's all really it is. Just kind of poking. Eventually, there's the vacuum Stormhammer. A big hit on 3, and that is going to be the conclusion of game number 1 as Liquid close it out in fancy, fancy style there.
I like how they just showed Insania on camera, who was being cold-blooded, not saying anything. You know, the rest of the team was just clearing them up.
But do you think he's Ancient Apparition is a fitting choice for him?